Mom is guilt-tripping me for wanting to stay in the Midwest while she moves back to our hometown. So nearly 4 years ago, my mom uprooted me from my hometown and college in Texas and moved us to the Midwest. It set me back finance-wise and education-wise, but now I'm finally in a spot to where I feel normal. I have built myself a small community. I have a job in my desired career field. I just graduated, and I'm living with my boyfriend. We've been living together for 1 year now and have been dating for 2. His family likes me too. Now that I feel like I'm finally caught up with people my age, my mom has been grilling me about being selfish because I told her I wanted to stay in the Midwest and visit Texas occasionally, instead moving to Texas. She's been guilt-tripping me, saying I'm going to kill my aging family because they'll be worrying to death about me. Then she came back and said if I decided to stay in the Midwest, she will have no choice but to stay too. And it will be my fault that she's wasting her life. Then my mom has been saying things like my great-grandma is barely holding on, and is waiting to let go when we move back to Texas, and my grandma is not doing well, and if I stay in the Midwest, it shows that I'm selfish and don't care about family. As if I am the one who moved here in the first place. She moved here chasing a long-distance relationship, and now that she's done, I'm supposed to uproot myself and follow her around again? She also recommends that my boyfriend move to Texas, if he loves me. I told her no to that idea, because he has lifelong friends and family where he's from, has a job he's respected at, has been there 6 years, and just bought a house. So why would I force him to flee stability and follow me to a completely different state? As if the world revolves around me. This has made me angry. My mom keeps asking me the same question and I keep answering it the same way. How can I put my foot down respectfully and say I will still visit often? As a hospital worker, I work 3 days a week. Will be off 4. And that me staying behind isn't the end of the world? How do I react when she loses her cool too? She's been asking me the same question of, so have you changed your mind, about 50 times now, and each time when I don't answer with what she wants to hear, she yells, cries, pouts, and guilt trips me by saying I'm killing the family with my selfish acts, as if cars and planes don't exist. I also don't have kids and don't plan on having kids, so again, traveling once or twice a month would not be difficult or financially bad for me. Also, she just made a huge friend group that just so happens to live in Texas, so I have a feeling she's more so wanting to move to be around them and is using moving closer to family to sound better. I'm 22F. My mom is 50. My boyfriend is 25, in case anyone wanted to know. Thank y'all for the amazing advice. Before reading the comments, I felt backed into a corner, but now I feel like I have some control over my current situation. Very grateful for the advice in this thread. Practice being unbothered. This is when you don't allow someone else's drama to infect you. I say practice because this is really hard to do. Our natural reaction to this kind of behavior is to explain, defend, justify. That only leads to more argument. Because your mother doesn't actually want to hear you. She wants you to do what she wants. There is no argument you can make. No magic words to get her to understand and accept your feelings. You've made your perspective clear. You don't have to justify it. I hear you maybe doing that a bit by saying that she was the one who moved you in the first place. That doesn't matter. You are choosing a life for yourself. A life that clearly seems to still value your family and connections in Texas, by the way, and you are 100% allowed to do that. When she brings up the questions over and over, find some easy phrases to keep in your pocket, like, I know you don't like it and I'm not asking you to, I hear you. Let's move on. I'm sorry that you think I'm being selfish. It is my life after all. These phrases are meant to convey, you've been heard. and I'm done speaking about it. And if she continues badgering you, quite literally walk away. Or change the subject. Give her a kiss. Put on your coat and tell her you'll see her tomorrow. This is not a punishment. It's a boundary. It's not about raising your voice, and you can do this with love and compassion for whatever might be driving this behavior in her. But she doesn't get to have this attention from you. She doesn't get to dictate that every conversation become a debate about where you should live. You're not fighting, or arguing, or trying to win. You are simply not participating. Your mom has an unhealthy attachment to you. When she asks you if you have changed your mind, you tell her this. This is not something I am going to change my mind on, Mom. This is not choosing between a burger and salmon for dinner. I have weighed my options. And this is not the right move for me. It wasn't the right move when we came here. But I did it for you. Now you want me to move again, and I am not doing this. I am an adult and presumable. So are you. You don't need me to move with you. I am not going, and this topic is no longer up for discussion. Then, when she starts pouting or tantruming, you hang up the phone. And you do that every time she tries to broach the subject after that. Without fail. It sounds like you're an adult. Mom is an adult too. She doesn't want to move back alone. Because that's scary. So she wants you to come along as a backup plan if her new friends aren't as cool as she thought. You're an adult. And perfectly capable of making your own decisions. Kids move away after high school and college all the time. Chasing after careers and love. No reason you can't as well. A good parent of an adult child wants the child to live their life to find and experience happiness. A bad parent of an adult child wants the child to live their life to make the parent happy. She's not respecting your wishes and is being extremely manipulative. She also sounds like she has some narcissistic tendencies, which can make it really difficult to get through to her or make her understand that her behavior is hurtful. I haven't had any luck getting a narcissist to realize that what they are doing is hurtful. We've tried sitting down, talking calmly, getting mad, taking space, talking to a counselor for communication techniques. All of them failed. So if you find a way to get through to her, let me know. Good luck. Up. Judging from your post history, your mom is controlling and abusive. A post from a year ago, when you were 21 years old, says when you missed your curfew, one night she showed up with a shotgun and threatened to shoot both you and your boyfriend, then threatened to burn down his house. As described in your previous post, your mother routinely threatens and guilt trips you in order to manipulate you into doing what she wants. She told me if I moved out of the house, she'll start a fire in it and kill herself and the dog in. It will be my fault and the family will blame me. You deserve to be happy. You're also an adult, with the right to make your own choices. You've at least been able to move out, which is great. Unfortunately, your mom seems pretty toxic. Setting firm boundaries might help. Mom, I'm not longer talking about this with you. Ultimately, however, you may have to reduce your contact with her in order to shut down the unwanted guilt trips and attempts at manipulation. Mom, stay or go is your choice. If you want to go, then go. I'm not making you waste your life here. I'm just not obligated to follow you around your entire life. I've made my life here. Cut the cord and go back to Texas. I'll visit when I can. You should tell her you and your boyfriend are moving overseas somewhere. Your mom obviously can't stand to see you happy. Say as much. It's your life. And you are an adult. She's manipulating you. Families, healthy loving ones, all over the country, world, manage distance and it doesn't kill them. Some say it makes them stronger. Your fam all flew the nest. And her job was to raise you so you could. It's you call. But that's a lot to throw away just because she says to. Mom, stop acting like a toddler or I'm going to be forced to treat you as one. I'm going to hang up on you if you bring up the subject of moving and not answer your calls for a day. Next time will be a week. Then 2. Then a month. I'll keep increasing the time if you can't learn that I'm an adult and make my own decisions. It's up to you if you want to keep having a relationship with me. If she starts guilt-tripping you again with your grandmother, just tell her bluntly that, well, she is the one who got to sit down and explain your family back home how 4 years ago chasing Dick was more important than them. You, your education, etc. And now you are an adult who finally makes themselves a priority. Instead of mom's feelings. If she claims your BF would if he really loves you, remind her she was the one who moved for love. So I guess that means she knew her ex-boyfriend didn't care about her going in? You just love him enough to not make him choose, and even if he wasn't in the picture, you build yourself a life and like it here. As if she is not going to move across country at the drop of a hat if she feels like it again. Now, you seem more polite than me, so just remind her, none of this mattered to you 4 years ago. Why should it factor into my decision now? And repeat ad nauseum. Mom, I came with you when you decided to leave Texas. And I overcame all of my academic and social setbacks to build a life here. I no longer live with you. You are no longer raising me. I am an independent adult. And I am staying. This is where I want to be after choosing to be happy here. I will visit when I can. If you go, next time it will be your mom who has little time left. It will never end. Better question is why your mom can't do anything without you. Mom needs to understand she no longer gets a say in where you live. You do not even live with her. So she needs to realize you are an adult. She is trying to make you pick her, even though she brought you there for her relationship. Mom, BF and I live and work here. If you want to go to Texas, go. I am not moving. Start using the gray rock method. Mom, I will not be made to feel responsible for your choices. You chose to move here 4 years ago, and I had zero choice when you made that decision. If you want to move back, you should. I've made a life here and I don't want to. You choosing to stay because I won't move is your decision. I will not discuss this, nor will I tolerate your attempts at guilt. Going forward, every time this behavior starts, I will end the conversation either by leaving or hanging up. This is no longer a topic for discussion. Don't be angry or emotional. Stay very calm and walk away when she starts up without reacting to it. Stop engaging. Called being raised by a narcissist. The sooner you walk away, the better off you'll be. I waited a decade or so too long. Mom is doing exactly what you say. She's guilt-tripping you and you don't have to stand for it. My mom once did this to me too. I decided to go out with a guy she didn't like. And she threw a massive fit and all but disowned me, saying that I was destroying our relationship and massively disrespecting her and my dad by being in a relationship with a guy they didn't like. She cut me off and refused to speak with me, and after 2 months I had my dad calling me to tell me she had been crying and barely sleeping, and how could I do this to my mother? You know what I did? I told them exactly how it was. I told them that my relationship had absolutely nothing to do with them. Just because they didn't like him, it didn't mean it had to have any effect on them whatsoever. I told them that I was an adult that was free to make my own choices, and that even if they were bad ones, the only person it would affect in the end was me, and not her. The only reason it ever had to affect her is if she decided that it needed to affect her. And that's exactly what she did. She decided to take my decision to date someone personally when there was no reason to. In the end, As difficult as I found it because I'm not a naturally confrontational person. It improved our relationship a lot. Because that was when she finally got it in her head that I wasn't a little girl she could boss around to suit her ideas anymore. I would do exactly the same thing with your mom. It's clear she's not going to take no for an answer, and if she's being this bratty already while you're trying to be respectful, it's clear that she's playing games and forcing you to feel sorry for decisions that she made. So I would throw respect out the window and just call her out on it. I'd say, let me get this straight. You uprooted my life, delayed my stability and happiness, and moved me away from your dear family that you're apparently so worried about, all to chase a long-distance relationship, which I would argue was very selfish of you to do. And now that you've decided you want to move back, you're going to use my family against me to get me to abandon everything again to move back with you? You're not being fair, and you're being incredibly horrible to me by trying to make me feel guilty for the decisions you made. And if you're so worried about your parents and grandparents, maybe you should go back and take care of them and let me live the life you brought me here to have. I personally would even take it one step further and say that if she's going to continue to behave this way, then your previous promise of regular visits will be taken off the table completely, and you won't be seeing her at all. Watch her sweat then. You are allowed to make her see that you don't have to do what she says. Stick to your guns, hun. You deserve the life you've built for yourself, and she is the truly selfish one here. She deserves to be made aware of that at this rate. You're giving her the same answer to the same question. You're an adult. The next time she asks you, just ignore her or change the subject. She can't tell you what to do if you made your own decisions as an adult. You just have to put your foot down. At 22, she can't tell you where you have to live. I'd explain to her one more time everything you said here and then just stop engaging with her. She'll get the message eventually. Or you can just stop caring what she says. My daughter, 30, moved to Texas 2 years ago. I live in the Midwest. Her move was good for her and her girlfriend. Parents are supposed to encourage their children and support them. I told my daughter that she should do what she feels is right for her. I'm telling you the same. You are adulting. If you staying turns out to be a mistake, it is your mistake to make. Just like if mom moving is a mistake, it's hers to make. Don't let her guilt you into doing something that you don't want to do. Your mom's a narcissist.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.